in the grand scheme of college football, where legacy and tradition often dictate expectations, Nebraska has long been a program accustomed to the upper echelons of success. However, the Cornhuskers have navigated through a decade punctuated more by mediocrity than by the glory of yore. This narrative has been underscored by the recent stewardship of Matt Rhule, whose tenure at Nebraska has, thus far, painted a picture of a team striving to reclaim even a semblance of its former glory, settling instead for the mantle of the average. Under Rhule, Nebraska has managed to achieve what might be considered a pyrrhic victory in the 2024 season, finishing with a record of 7-6. This record, while not a return to the 9-win seasons that Nebraska fans have come to expect, represents a statistical anomaly when viewed against the backdrop of the last 10 years. Nebraska's performance has been below par, with only 2 winning seasons, where the metric for success is often pegged at a 50% win rate or higher. The 2024 season, in this context, appears as a modest triumph, a return to a 500 win percentage. But it also casts a spotlight on the broader issue of what average truly means for a program like Nebraska. Matt Rhule, with his history of coaching, brings with him a reputation that is, at best, middling. At Temple University, from 2013 to 2016, Rhule managed a winning percentage of 54.9%, with records oscillating from the dismal 2-10 in his first year to a commendable 10-3 in his last. This progression suggests a coach capable of turning around a struggling program, but the question lingers whether this was due to coaching acumen or simply catching a team on the upswing. His transition to Baylor University further nuanced this narrative. Starting with a 1-11 record in 2017, he led the Bears to an 11-3 record in 2019. Yet the consistency of his approach, taking teams from the depths and elevating them, seems less a testament to sustained excellence than to the volatility of college football dynamics. Rhule's journey into the NFL with the Carolina Panthers was less kind, where his record plummeted to a 28.9% winning percentage. Here, the facade of motivational speak and the strategic advantage of coaching teams in recovery mode seem to unravel against the more seasoned skepticism of professional athletes. His tenure ended abruptly, with a record that did little to bolster his reputation as anything beyond an average coach. Nebraska's decision to invest $74 million over 8 years in Rhule was driven by desperation following the debacle of Scott Frost's tenure, a period marked by not only poor performance, but also personal scandals that tarnished the program's image. Frost's exit left Nebraska in need of a rebuild, and Rhule, with his track record of program revitalization, was seen as a viable option. However, this choice by athletic director Trev Alberts, who has his own controversial history at Nebraska, might reflect more on the scarcity of appealing candidates willing to tackle the Nebraska job than on Rhule's inherent coaching prowess. Rhule's arrival has coincided with Nebraska achieving an average record, but this achievement is laden with caveats. The last decade's performance, with only 2 seasons above 500, indicates a program that has been far below the average expected by its storied past. A 42% win rate over 10 years, where fans and alumni expect 69% or 9 victories, underscores a significant cultural shift in expectations versus reality. The 2024 season might be viewed as a step forward, but it also illuminates Rhule's modus operandi, leveraging his charisma and coach speak to elevate teams, perhaps more through the natural cycles of football than through groundbreaking strategy. Nebraska's community, steeped in tradition and expectation, now finds itself at a crossroads, contemplating whether this average performance under Rhule is the new ceiling or merely a stepping stone to greater heights. In analyzing Rhule's impact, one must consider whether his success at Temple and Baylor was due to his coaching or merely the result of catching teams at their nadir with nowhere to go but up. At Nebraska, with its vast resources and fervent fan base, the challenge is not just to achieve average, but to transcend it. As it stands, Rhule's tenure suggests a coach who might be adept at managing the middle, but whether he can elevate Nebraska back to its historical echelons remains a question wrapped in the complexity of modern college football and its ever-changing landscape.